boys.
Yeah. Well, all right. Welcome back to Fade or Follow. We got a good ass episode reacting to the top 25. A lot of good names, a lot of bad names, a lot of names you probably thought they were going to be here, a lot of teams, a lot of coaches that, probably earned a top 25 just because of who they are. A lot of interesting ones too when you get towards the bottom. I think some
Yeah.
some decent names I got left off the list, but yeah, Grant, what's your kind of initial take on everything? I think we stay away from the top 5 as a start and
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
start with
Let's
Indiana and kind of work our way down.
absolutely. Yeah. What's good, everyone? It's great to be here. I'm just ready for we're so close. I can taste it. The coaches poll starting out. It is last year we had Indiana come in at 19 and they proceeded to go 16-0 and win the Natty. So this coaches poll is not always the most reliable thing, but it sure is fun to look at. So let's go ahead and get after it. My initial thought is, why is Clemson a top 25 team? Like they don't like they were Dabo Sweeney must have the coach like he must have the coaches like in his pocket. I don't understand, like they don't recruit the way everyone else is recruiting. They have not embraced NIL the way some of the other top teams have. So I have never seen a school or a team ride off more reputational power than Clemson has. Um,
It's
so
just the
I
name, dude. I mean, like, what else
yeah,
do you
exactly,
expect?
yeah,
It's
for sure.
Dabo, and he's kind of coming around with the recruiting anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, he can prove me wrong, but
I don't know. I mean, I'm
he's gonna
with
have
you.
to
I
show
mean,
me.
it's kind of like Mizzou being up there too. I mean, no hate on
Yeah,
Missouri, but it's not like they have a lot going for them. Chip Lindsey is their new offensive coordinator, who I think is replacing Kirby Moore. Was it?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
their
That's
other
what I was saying.
QB transferred to Virginia. Um, their roster took a huge hit too. What, I think 6 players were drafted
Yeah,
last year. I mean,
and
it's
they
not
also
like
some of
they
them
have a lot of
transferred.
great talent coming back, and their schedule's kind of tough. I mean, Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, Kansas, like
Jeez,
that's
yeah,
3, 4 losses right there.
right, yeah,
This is a top 25 team that won't be top 25 after week, I don't know, 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
agree. I think as soon as they start playing their conference schedule, they're gonna take a few L's and they're just gonna fall off.
yeah,
Um,
like, and I feel like Louisville or Florida or, I mean, I don't want to
yeah,
say TCU, but I think either one of those teams would have been a lot better of a.
TCU's getting in a tough spot because Josh Hoover transferred to Indiana, and he was the only reason they were in any of those games. Like
Yeah, but
any
he was
like T,
what he had 29 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. I mean, they had
yeah,
some pretty shitty losses too against teams that aren't that great. Now, granted, it's not like he had the best O line, the best defense, the best weapons, but
the defense is horrible, but he
yeah, yeah,
he could, if you saw it, like he's one of those guys, like he's been in college football for a little while
yeah,
now,
he's 23.
and yeah, so he's been around and he's still here, but like if you look like at his peak, like he can play. Like I'm not gonna sit here and poo poo
No,
Josh Hoover too
I don't
much,
think he's a
but
bad quarterback either.
no,
I'm with you. I
yeah,
mean,
but I think all I'm saying is the fact that TCU is one of those teams that was like um TCU is just one of those teams that was only in these games because they were hanging 40 points and hanging around and hanging around. But like, I don't think without that offense, I don't
factor
enough
fiction
plus.
though, factor fiction. What made Mendoza being able to scramble was over 50% why Indiana was as good as they were.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I don't, yeah, and also just they Mendo
Hoover's not really a
no,
runner. Like I think
no,
his
but
longest run
but
last
he
year
can,
was 13 yards.
it's a matter of yeah, you're right, because that entire Indiana team was just about discipline and precision, and that is what Mendoza is amazing at, right? He's very Brady-esque that way. He wasn't the most flashy guy. He wasn't didn't have the rocket
Yeah,
arm, but he was accurate as fuck. And you're right.
yeah,
I don't think Hoover's that accurate either. And so yeah, I don't know what Indiana's going to look like, but all I know is that TCU is going to be way worse because they don't have him anymore. That's all I'm trying to say here.
yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't even really want to mention them. I mean, I thought like they didn't deserve to be on the top 25, and it's like it's whoever's a 25th team. It's like no, again, no disrespect,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's not like we're really talking about a playoff contender at the end of the
Mizzou's a
day.
natty contender anyway. Yeah, we're moving.
Yeah, and I guess
The other
talking about, do we want to just stick to Indiana, or what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna. I have some thoughts on 10 to 15. I've got some. I want to talk about those.
Okay.
The other team I was gonna bring up in the 20 to 25 range is Iowa. They lost their quarterback again, but it's crazy that they are in a game where literally every other team is completely reliant on a quarterback. They just find a way to be relevant without having any semblance of competent quarterback play. All they do is play great special teams and good defense, and they just find ways to steal games. And
They're like the big brother of Northwestern. Like
yeah,
Northwestern never has a quarterback. They have a decent everything else you just described, but they just never can find a way to be a contender.
Right.
Iowa always finds a way to be a contender with,
right.
like you said, a mediocre QB, an amazing defense, run game heavy. Yeah, an amazing special teams. It is funny. They're always right there, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And they're always giving people problems every Saturday. You just turn the TV on and Iowa's hanging with someone that they shouldn't be. You're just like, all right, Iowa, just go off, I guess.
And Iowa
so I just want to give Iowa their credit because I don't like watching them play at all. They're the least visually appealing team I've ever seen. But at a certain level, you kind of just got to respect them for staying this relevant for as long as they have.
Yeah, and their schedule really isn't horrible this year either. I mean, aside from Michigan, Ohio State, and Washington, it's like Northern Illinois, Iowa State, Minnesota, Wisconsin, with Western Purdue, Illinois. Like, I don't think they beat Illinois both times. I could see them squeezing out one of those, but who knows, man? I mean, they kept it interesting last year. They may be able to keep it interesting this year. Not a playoff contender, but a fun team. Well, I guess whatever your definition of fun is, team to watch.
If you like root canals, then you like watching Iowa football. I think that's the way to put it.
No, that's so true.
Moving up the list just a little bit. We got the Michigan, Penn State, Tennessee, Washington tier.
Well, I get kind of on the same train as Michigan. Like, what do you think Utah's going to do this year?
Yeah, it is interesting. They lost their coach for they lost their coach for a long time, but they still have their quarterback. They got there's defense. They're still going to play good defense. Their defensive.
How long has Morgan Scaley been at Utah? It's been a while, right?
Yeah, he's been there it's been a few years. They had the guy before him as well, Cam Rising. He was there forever. So yeah, I think they both kind of.
Dude, they have such a fucking cakewalk schedule too.
I know. Yeah, so I think that's part of the reason that they're in this top 25 is that their schedule they're wide open. Outside of Texas Tech, the Big 12 is such a joke. So but I do think. So I think that's kind of why it is the way it is. Just such a top heavy conference. But outside of BYU, Utah, and Texas Tech, that conference is easy money.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's I think Michigan getting Whittingham was a crazy turn of events for them. Like that is just the most. They fell ass backwards into that. Like they go through this crazy coaching scandal, and then they just end up picking up one of the best coaches in the country just because they're Michigan. And I like him a lot. Obviously we've had conversations about like his comments about the Ohio State thing and like the rivalry and kind of being soft on that, but he's coached in games where the teams hate each other. Like him saying one thing to us and then doing another in the locker room is probably where he's going to be at. So I think Michigan's going to be just fine. I don't want them to be just fine, but they probably will be.
I disagree. I think they're going to have at least 3 losses this year. I don't think they make the
sure.
playoffs. I think people are riding pretty high. I mean, if you have Bryce Underwood under snap, great.
I don't trust.
Love
him.
that.
I don't trust him to do anything. But I think in this new, this is like their first new regime that's not directly tied back to Jim Harbaugh since a long time, right? Like basically, Sharon Moore was pretty much just trying to keep alive what they were doing under Harbaugh, and that obviously didn't work. But I think this is the first time that they're going to kind of try to move the envelope forward past that. But I still think they have a very similar coaching style, because Utah, if you remember, like they were kind of throw it when they have to, run the ball, play good defense, and that's kind of what Michigan wants to do, is they just want to bully people.
Yeah, and I mean, Jordan Marshall is a dog. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a good running back.
Right.
Andrew Marsh on a wide receiver. I mean, he's fast, he's quick. You know, he can catch the ball in big moments. But to your point, I don't know. I've never been a big believer in Bryce Underwood. I think that, you know, he can move his legs, which has helped him. But
he looks the part.
Yeah, he looks the part, but in big moments, he chokes under pressure. He doesn't throw very well. He can get inaccurate. People get in his head. He's not good under the rush. I mean, he'll scramble again, but I mean, he just gets frazzled really easily. And in big moments, he throws picks. Like, that's just what he does. It happened in the Ohio State game. It happened in the Texas game. It's going to keep happening. And, you know, when you play Oklahoma week 2 and then you go to Penn State and you're playing Indiana and Oregon, like, having Ohio State be they will be lucky to be walking in Ohio State with 1 or 2 losses. Like, if they have only 1 loss, kudos to them. But I just find it really hard to believe that they beat Oklahoma, Indiana, Oregon, and Penn State.
Exactly. For the first time in a long time, they are firmly in like tier 2 or tier like of the Big Ten. They are not a top tier Big Ten team at this point. They are firmly in that second tier. They are behind Ohio State. They're behind Oregon. I would argue that Penn State might be better than them just based on the talent, because because Penn State got
and Franklin's finally gone too, dude.
Yeah,
you know?
He's gone, but they also imported that entire Iowa State roster, which was a top 15 team. They got Rocco Beck. They got the coach. They're not. It's a rebuild, but it is a rebuild that's already half finished because they just brought it in from Ames, Iowa. You know what I mean?
No, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a great team. They're going to bounce back pretty well. But the question always remains is you know, are they going to slip into what Penn State normally is, and that is they can't make it far, or is that just the Franklin curse away?
Yeah,
I don't know. I never thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I mean. They're just like they're a worse version of Oregon. Like, Oregon is the same team.
Penn State is.
They're way better, but they just can never seem to figure it out.
No, they are not.
And in big moments, they get embarrassed. 2 years in a row,
for sure.
Getting absolutely ass whooped by Ohio State. I think in the first quarter, they were down like 25 or 30 something points, and then getting smoked by Indiana. Oh my gosh, dude! Sure. Like,
no, for sure. They have been humbled the last couple of years. I just hopefully we'll see what this new regime looks like for them. I just have a feeling that they'll be able to establish themselves as kind of like that upper tier of the big. I still think you're right. Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon still own them as long as we're going to be around. But in terms of like that next level, like the next tier of the Big Ten, I think them and Michigan and USC kind of all fall in that same sort of.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very similar. I mean, kind of switching gears. One team I see on here that I don't know about you, but I feel like they're going to perform exactly how they performed last year is BYU.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They got this. Yeah, they're going to be the same team. They got.
I really can see them doing the same thing.
Yeah, they lost their defensive coordinator to Michigan, so. Will be interesting to see how they handle that, but I don't think that he was the strength of that team anyway. Like it was their run game, their quick passing game. Rocco Beck making plays. I mean, not Rocco Beck. Bear Bachmeier making plays with his legs. Like that was the strength of that team more than the defense was really. So I think.
Well, they got a new defensive coordinator too, which I think will help, or hopefully it'll help. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because they were a fun team to watch, but a frustrating team to watch. I mean, I think they had some of the highest overs in the games that we bet on last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure, they're so fun.
Fun. Hey, Bunce, you want to ride a 62.5 point over with me?
And then you're like, no, you're like, yeah. Like, it'll be 70 points in the third quarter. You're like, thank you, Grant. I'm like, hell yeah.
Fucking hate taking those. I love points, but man.
There's as soon as you get it's as soon as you kind of get over the fear factor of that a little bit, and then you just watch it happen, you're just like, "Yo, it's so satisfying." But
All right, let's move up the list a little bit, unless you wanted to have another remark.
No, I just want to talk. I just want to go up just a couple.
I was going to go to LSU.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, exactly. That's where I wanted to go next.
Well, I guess first and foremost, do you think they are where they should be at 13? Do you think that's a fair ranking, or do you think it's too much because of Lane Kiffin, or do you not think it's enough?
I think it's fair because, they have the number one portal class. They got it's high enough because they have the number one portal class. They got Sam Levitt. They got all these eyes coming in from all over the country, like big names, like top, like really powerful, really good weapons, really good defensive pieces. But I think it's also fair to put them in the middle of the pack here because at the end of the day, they're just pieces, right? They have to prove out that they are more than they're better than the sum of their parts. Because if you remember, LSU last year was not good. They sucked.
They were 7-6. Like they were terrible.
They could not play offense. Like they could not do anything.
I mean, after the season opener beating Clemson, they fell apart.
Yeah, exactly. They were, and that's really also kind of the disparagement of Clemson is the fact that they couldn't beat that LSU team as bad as they were. And also,
dude, we got absolutely smoked week 1 last year too. Holy shit! Like generationally bad. We're 1-7.
Yeah, they're really horrible last year. Horrible. So it's like, yeah. So I think LSU is.
We're not going to go 1-7 this year, people.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna. I think the game of the year is gonna be. Ole Miss versus one of the games of the year is going to be Ole Miss versus LSU.
That's going to be insane.
That's going to be cinema. I don't know what
that's
it's going to look like.
That's in Mississippi too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the Grove or where it's in Oxford, right? That's where. Yeah. Oxford, Mississippi. So I think, I think
Dude,
they're going to.
They have a tough schedule. Oh my god.
Do they? Do you have it pulled up?
I do. So. I mean, Clemson, fine. They're going to be Clemson, Louisiana Tech, yes. And then Ole Miss, A&M, and then some bullshit teams. And then the last 4 games of the season, Alabama, Texas, Tennessee, and then Arkansas.
Wow.
Alabama, Texas, Tennessee is crazy.
That's so tough. Yeah.
That is sickening.
Talk about an over. Talk about an over team. You talk about a team going over, and you talk about teams needing to score points. Like they're at
home for Bama and Texas, which helps, but then they're gone at Tennessee.
And that's gonna be that
Bama game will be interesting. To be honest with you,
yeah.
I mean,
they're gonna be a fun team. I'm gonna watch all their games. Whatever happens, I'm gonna be watching. That's the thing. Is like
for sure
they're either gonna be an offensive spectacle, and they're just going to be hanging 50 points a game because Lane Kiffin's Lane Kiffin, or they're going to be a dumpster fire, and it's going to be the most karmic retribution in the world, and Lane Kiffin's going to be eating shit for 12 weeks, and it's also going to be very funny to watch. So it's like it's very it can go either way, but all I know is I'm going to be watching every game because it's a Lane Kiffin is a soap opera unto himself.
You know what I'm going to miss more than anything?
You're going to miss. What's that?
The wonderful cameraman panning over to Brian Kelly's very red face.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very red, angry face, little face. I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
Because no matter how bad of a day I'm having, I know his day is a little bit worse.
I'm going to miss his press conferences where he just yells at people.
I'm just going to miss him in general.
Yeah. Brian Kelly. What a guy.
Where did he go? Is he
I don't think
anywhere, or is he just chilling?
I think he's just getting paid. Honestly, I think he's doing. I think him.
Is he at the North Pole with all the other elves?
Yeah. I mean, he's up. Yeah, he's. I think he's with Jimbo Fisher, just cashing checks. Because I think he also got a. Where is he at? Yeah, so he's still got $54 million coming his way. So that's pretty funny. So he's getting paid $50 million just to not do anything.
It's pretty nice.
No, it's nice.
Maybe him and Deshaun Watson will become buddies.
No, for sure. And it's crazy that Deshaun Watson gets it still has a female partner, considering he's got like abused like 100 women, but $250 million will make any man.
Hey, allegedly.
Allegedly, but I mean that's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people. But no, I think him, Jimbo Fisher, and Brian Kelly will just be on a yacht somewhere, just counting bread. It's gonna be fun. It's so good for him.
What about Texas Tech?
Texas Tech is fascinating because I think they would have been top 10, but they had they had Brendan Sorsby, that whole Sorsby saga. Because they have one of the best rosters, but they were a quarterback away last year, and Brendan Sorsby was supposed to come in and be that answer for them. But he gambled on his own games like a dumbass, and they he lost that. Basically, he lost all of his eligibility, and they tried to do that whole legal rigmarole, and it just fumbled it. So they're going to be rolling out Will Hammond again, who was okay, but he wasn't great last year. So I do think there isn't. So
I mean, they don't really have
overall. They splurged on the roster again. Like they spent all the money to get all the pieces. They reloaded all over the place with weapons and defensive talent and things like that. But again, if you don't have a quarterback, it's really hard.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of fall flat on their face.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, no, I mean, but what's really hard for me to want to commit to a take like that is they have a pretty easy schedule.
The Big 12 soft. Big 12
yeah,
soft.
I mean, you could argue Houston might give them a run for their money.
BYU.
They don't play BYU.
Oh, they don't play BYU? Oh,
no, not that I'm not. I don't think so.
No, okay. But yeah.
No, they play Houston twice. They play Colorado, Arizona State, Cincy, Baylor, Oklahoma State, TCU, West Virginia.
But yeah, no.
So I don't know, dude. I mean, this could be. They were what 11-1 last year.
Something like that, yeah.
12-2, something like that, because they were the Big 12 champion.
Yeah, and they lost to Oregon in the playoff. Maybe that's counting as a loss. But no.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it is. That's right. That was my put my dick on the table.
That was you put everything. Yeah, what paid for that? That was the trip to Chicago for the Bears playoff game, right? That paid for.
Yeah,
right?
I told Richie because I was on like 57 billion flights last year that I didn't want to pay for another flight, and I threw $400 on the Oregon spread, and I said if they win, I'm coming to Chicago.
Love it.
And thank God I did, because we were all together for the Bears-Packers game.
That was the absolute classic. Classic.
Insane. I wish I could go back to that night.
No, for sure. That was one of the most satisfying. Yeah, that was the biggest roller coaster I've ever been on in a football game. Like that, I will remember that night for the rest of my life. Like,
we're on mushrooms.
That was special. Yeah, we were fucked up. That was special. That was special.
Bama being 11. Kind of funny to me not being in the top 10. I guess that's what happens when you get your back blown out by Indiana 38-3.
Yeah, and you just talk about all these talk about names, talking about brand names and teams that are ranked where they are just because of brand recognition. Like I feel like Alabama's starting to kind of get into that tier a little bit. Like if they don't make the playoff or at least do something like top of the SEC sort of movements here, like they're gonna keep falling down. Like I don't really like the trajectory of where they're headed right now. Like Kalen DeBoer is still a good coach, but Alabama is gonna move towards
he's fine. He doesn't fit the bill for me. I don't know. I don't think it's really his coaching style.
No, it's not.
Weirdly enough, it's
not his fault, but it's
it's not his fault.
He got put in an impossible situation.
But they're losing poll. Obviously, Saban was a lot of that poll.
Mm-hmm. But they also were getting the top recruiting class every year.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, I guess it just shows that when you actually have to raise money from alumni and pay people money, that no one from Alabama is really doing that well. if you want to be being honest.
The socioeconomic status of your university really starts to come to the forefront.
And then half the people are, living in a trailer. They can't really assist.
You got 10 guys in mansions, and then you got 10 guys in mansions, and then everyone else is in a trailer park. It really makes it hard to build an NIL fund. So so it'll be it's going to be interesting to see how.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just honestly, Bama is just one of those. I don't really have much more to say, but go ahead.
No, it's just because the thing is this isn't just a 1 year thing where you raise money one time, right? Say, all right, Alabama Crimson Tide people, let's raise $20 million to build a football team. And there it's all right, cool. All right, everyone's all right, yeah, I can pitch in for $20 million. But then it's literally it's like that scene in Elf. It's all right, let's get ready for next year. And wait a second, we just did this. You know what? We just did this 5 minutes ago. They have to perpetually keep refilling the war chest, and it's Alabama doesn't have any. To my knowledge, they don't really have any alumni that are like that. Michigan's got Larry Ellison, who's worth more money than God, and Texas has all the oil money, and Ohio State's got billionaires, and Indiana's got Indiana's average net worth of their alumni base has to be
62 cents. Okay.
No, Indiana. I don't know about you. I know a lot of Indiana, a lot of families. I'm from Gurney. I knew a lot of families in my area, Lincolnshire, Schaumburg. A lot of families went to Indiana, and they're doing pretty well, and they're not that special. But all I'm saying is Indiana's alumni base is massive. You saw it during the national championship. How many families could they literally flooded Miami's home stadium just because they could. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is some of these.
Yeah, I think part of it is that, but you have to realize too. How many times is Indiana going to make it to the championship?
No,
these are people that are probably just living
I just
for the moment.
mean in the sense of now that everyone can play by the same rules and everyone can pay everyone over the
table, that's right. Yeah, then Bama's just a normal school.
Bama's going to fall off. Yeah, exactly. Because Alabama is not rich. Indiana is pretty wealthy. That's all I'm trying to make. That's in schools like Indiana that have bread to kind of.
I get you. Yeah, but I understand. Yeah, and I we're on the same page, and I just Bama, whatever. Fuck Bama. Bama how about their neighbor? Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah. They still have Chambliss. They still have the quarterback, which
I think they're gonna be a good team, dude. They retained a pretty decent amount of their roster, even though obviously they lost Lane Kiffin, but
they lost Charlie Weiss as well. They lost the OC
but I think if you can do or mimic even half of what you did or 75% of what you did last year, and let's be honest, they probably should have won that Miami game.
Right.
And I don't know if it would have been any different than playing Indiana. I personally think it probably would have better. I'm not saying Indiana would have lost. I'm just saying maybe the competition would have been a little better because, Chambliss, in my opinion, is just spunkier. He can run. He's fast. He has a rocket. Right. Carson Beck is Carson Beck.
Right.
Whatever. It was, more of Miami's defense that kept it a game.
Right.
But the discipline from Indiana, like you were talking about with Mendoza doing what he needs to do, that's what won it. It was just a well-oiled machine. So their schedule too, again, Mizzou, they're going to win. Texas, I don't know, Georgia, Oklahoma, I think they win. Texas, Georgia, if they can come out of this 11-1,
they can make the playoff. They're a playoff. I think they're a playoff. I think they can be a playoff team.
I think they're a playoff team too. I think so too. Oklahoma's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's a tough one. I think they're a great team and they're always a great team, but do they have it enough to be in the college football playoff this year? I think so, but I don't know if they go past the first round, just like how they lost this year or last year against Alabama.
That'll be it's going to be an interesting gut check for them because the way they lost, they were up 20 points in that game, and in Alabama walked them down, right?
It's just another one of those. It's man, did you guys fumble under the pressure, or was Alabama that good? And I think they just
Right,
fell under
exactly.
the pressure.
Me too. I think they fumbled, and, like literally, they fumbled and they threw picks, and
And then we got
like,
to watch a dog shit game of Indiana and
yeah,
Alabama.
yeah, for sure. And I think, so yeah, so I think they still have John Mateer, they still have the
Yep.
coach, they still have
Yep.
that. The
Mateer's a
defense is
dog,
still,
dude. He made us a good amount of
yeah,
money last year.
yeah, yeah, he did. Shout out John Mateer. We put a lot of
Shout
money
out
on his
Mateer,
rush
dude.
on it. Anytime touchdown scorer, John Mateer, cash cow. Um, but it's like, yeah, I think so. If John Mateer can throw consistently, in addition to the scrambling ability, they can be a problem. But
I agree.
like you said, like they're gonna have to be able to score. Like they're in that top 10 tier, which, like you said, is the playoff. These are probably gonna, like 7 or 8 of these teams are gonna be in the playoff, if not more.
Yeah, and Ben
Like,
Arbuckle, I think, is returning as their OC. So,
yeah,
and he did a
so
pretty good
another
job
year
last
in that
year.
system. Yeah, another
Mm-hmm.
year in that system. And I think John Mateer also hurt his hand last year at some point.
He
And he
did.
was kind of,
Yep. And he came
yes,
back. Crazy.
yeah. So it's like, if he can stay healthy and he can be a little bit more consistent as a passer, they can make some noise. It's just a matter of how much noise. So
Yeah.
because that
I
defense
mean,
is
they barely lost to Ole Miss, too, in the regular
yeah,
season. I
Brent,
mean, it wasn't like they
yeah,
got smacked. It was
no,
34-26, I think. Yeah, 34-26.
yeah.
Um,
And Brent Venables is still going to have that defense humming, so it's going to be interesting. All right, moving up just a little bit. Let's we can talk about Indy. I just want to get to
Yeah, I
Indy.
don't.
Want to talk
We
about
can
Indiana?
skip A&M. We can skip Miami. Like honestly, if Miami's there, or whatever, I don't think they're going to
They
be
got
as good as people think they are.
yeah, Darian Mensah.
The only thing
They still got
helping Miami is their fucking schedule. I mean, I
yeah.
think they're going to lose to Notre Dame.
The ACC sucks ass. Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Like that's the only reason why they're ranked 7.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, we kind of started with Indiana. I we talked about this offline a little bit already, and kind of where I'm thinking about Indiana. But you can start if you want. I don't know if
yeah.
we're now aligned, if your opinions changed on this, but
No, I think I think they're still, like, they bring in Josh Hoover, they bring in a lot of guys. They lost so much, right? They lost a lot. Like all those JMU guys that were the reason they were in the Natty, and the reason that Kurt Signetti kind of was able to make that transition so smooth. They're all gone. So, like, how well they can reload. One second. Okay, we're good.
tornado ran through Chicago. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry about that. So the yeah. So
Look,
I think, like,
I'm gonna raise my hand and say I was wrong about Indiana last year.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yes.
the majority of the country was wrong about Indiana last year.
Yep.
That's fine. I've openly said and admitted that I like Kurt Signetti.
Yeah.
I think it was a Cinderella story. I think this is the exact script, but better with the Michigan team a couple years prior.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of people returning. You have a good coach. What else do you got? I'm confused, because I'll tell you what, a coach, and fucking slap my hand here, doesn't win a national championship alone. I don't
Right. No, for
care
sure.
who you are.
Right.
You need
sure.
talent. And
Yes.
everyone now is on the other side of the seesaw. They're saying, I was wrong, so I'm going to really, really ride high on
Well, yeah,
Indiana.
go
And
lean
it's
into
like,
Indiana. Yeah.
and now they're leaning in, and it's like, great, you lean in. I'm still going to be in this middle ground. I think
Yeah.
when they start the season, and let's be honest, they have a pretty easy start with North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, then they go to Northwestern, Rutgers, Nebraska. Their first real matchup is Ohio State. And then after Ohio State, they play Michigan. And then Minnesota, USC, Washington. They don't have that hard of a schedule.
No.
Washington is sneaky good. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not a good team. I mean, they got a great coach, great program. I agree. I just, like, you're not going to convince me. Like, the only way they're going to convince me that they're a decent team before they play Ohio State is if they are fucking blowing out the opponent.
Mhm.
If they are close games, if they are sloppy in any way. Again, my opinion on them is I think they'll probably have 3 losses. They lose to Ohio State, they lose to USC, and Michigan and Washington are both coin flips.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I think they do lose to Michigan. I don't know why. I think they do. It's at Michigan. late October. Like, I don't know.
That's a
I
spicy take.
fucking hate Michigan. I
No,
don't
that's
like
a spicy take. I'm gonna clip this. That's a
clip
spicy
it.
take.
I don't
No,
care.
no,
I
no,
just
hang,
like
no. Stand on business. Stand on business, dude. Like I think it. Stand
but
on
I
business.
again, it's, Ohio State and USC are like losses.
Yeah.
Michigan and Washington are coin flips.
Right, I get
But
you.
if I like looking at the schedule right now, I don't know. I think they lose to Michigan. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right. Give me 1 second, man. I gotta take care. 1 second. 1 second.
You're good.
My bad. Okay. Okay. So yeah,
I've said everything. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. No, I still think the like it's like you said. I think I do think there's like there's a room to regress for these guys. I just have a hard time.
If Ohio State
like,
loses Indiana, I'm going to blow my brains out. Like, I'm going to just say that
I don't
right
think
now.
no. Ohio State's gonna blow the brakes off Indiana because
The reason that they were Mr. Cinderella story was because of that fucking game and fielding and it was just a bad coach game. As you know, and again, I'm not going to sit here and say they deserve to win because they played like shit. Both teams played like shit. However, when you're in the red zone 3 fucking times and you can't figure out a way to score, and your play calling is what you did. I mean, it was...
You couldn't get a yard. You couldn't get a yard.
But it wasn't just that. It was like you're running on 3rd and 4th down, and then you're not running on 3rd and 4th down, and then you try to sneak, and then you try to pass on 4th down, and they threw it to their 3rd string tight end, and it's like, what are we fucking doing, guys? Like,
right.
Stick to the script, and then make your field goal, right? It's like... So I don't know, but what do you think? I mean, do you think it's far fetched?
I think Ohio State blows their doors. I think Ohio State absolutely skull fucks Indiana this year. I do think that's facts. I just am of them. I didn't really doubt Cignetti like you did as much, but I
didn't doubt Cignetti. I doubted the team.
Didn't. Yeah, it's fair. Okay, yeah, you did. Yeah, I think the team. I am skeptical, I think, is where I'm at. But I do think if Cignetti is as good of a coach as I think he is, I think he'll have them rolling within the first few weeks, and he'll have them figure it out because he's like he's like a football psycho, and I kind of love football psychos. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. The only thing I know about this team is they're going to be.
If they make the playoffs, I will never talk down on Indiana or Kurt Cignetti for as long as I live. I'll get his fucking name tattooed on my back, like I.
Yeah, if they go back to back, you get
They're not going to go
tattooed on your.
If they go back to back, I'll get Cignetti tattooed on my ass.
Tattooed on your butt. Yeah, perfect. All right, deal. Okay, I like it. Perfect. Okay, I think that's a great way. I think that's a good way to finish that segment. Let's move into our blue chips. Let's move into our top 5. Like, these are the sure bets. These are the sure playoff teams, as sure as you can be anyway in this whole game of football that
Notre Dame. I have such a sour taste in my mouth with Notre Dame. Yeah, I get last year and their frustration. I'm not going to sit here and say, that they deserved what happened to them, but not to play in the bowl game too because you're a fucking whiner. It's just nut up, dude.
Yeah,
and then you look at their schedule this year too. It's like
they're sore losers.
You're a sore loser walking into a cakewalk. It's like,
exactly.
Congratulations, guys. Who are your biggest people this year? BYU, Miami, and SMU. It's wow, that's a real tough schedule. Yeah, and you lost to Miami and A&M last year. So you better go fucking 12-0 before you walk in.
They quite literally scheduled themselves a playoff ticket because of I don't know I know these games are scheduled a couple years out. But they literally scheduled themselves a cakewalk just to make sure they don't.
If you were to come to North Carolina, guess who plays that week?
North Carolina, Notre Dame.
Miami and Notre Dame.
Oh.
That's November 7th, too.
But there's so many other good games on. That's all.
No, I know. I'm just saying, that's another great game. That'll be a good game.
No, but I'm saying is that's my only problem with going to some of these games is you miss every other game.
I'm not saying go to the game. I said if you came to North Carolina. Neither team is in North Carolina.
Yeah. We just got it. Oh, Miami, North Carolina. Oh, sorry. But okay. Yeah, no, that'd be
for the people that don't know, I live in north of Charlotte. Grant's in Chicago. I'm from Chicago. And we'll meet up and watch a lot of football together. So this was the weekend that we were talking about because it's
Yeah, great,
Oregon, Ohio
great.
State, Miami, Notre Dame, Bama,
Utah
LSU,
B
Georgia, Ole
Utah
Miss, and Utah,
Utah
BYU.
BYU. Great
I mean,
game.
that
November
is
7th. Great game. Great.
unfucking believable. I looked at the
Yeah.
NFL slate. It's actually not that great. And honestly, kind of makes it a nice, like, center around college. Obviously, different days of the weekend, but
You know what I just realized? That's really gonna fuck that up that I just put together. That's my wedding anniversary.
on the 7th,
Yeah.
that was when you guys got married?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I might be cooked. So we might need to plan a different weekend, to be honest. But we'll figure it out. But that does make things hard.
You have your whole life to celebrate anniversaries.
It's my first one.
You'll be all right. Second one's better.
The second one's better. Yeah.
But all right, I think no. Let's move on. Texas is one that
Notre
I'm
Dame
looking
is a
forward to.
cakewalk. They're gonna be really good though. I will say they're gonna be good because they have a really good roster and they have a cake schedule. So like you said, they're gonna be good. Texas,
In my opinion, I think Texas's entire year relies on them beating Ohio State.
in week 2.
If they lose that game, they're cooked.
Yeah, interesting.
Because they play Tennessee, they play Oklahoma, they play Ole Miss, they play Mizzou, they play A&M. It's like if they truly
They have a
want to
brutal
be,
schedule.
if they truly want to be the team that everyone wants them to be, and everyone's dick riding Arch Manning, and I love Arch Manning, I love the Mannings, I think they're an amazing family.
Right.
Just like last year, everyone is riding his dick again.
Right.
I think he made huge improvements
strides.
and steps and strides in the right direction last year. I think he looked great against Michigan. But again,
he looked awesome.
It's Michigan. They didn't play that great last year. We're not talking about a blue chip team at the end of the day, but he looked great. So, you know what? Like, I think last year we had 2 redshirt freshmen starting a game, a lot of nerves, huge game early in the day.
Two great and Ohio State's
And of course, and 2
nasty.
defense. But tell me if I'm wrong. They didn't let Julian Sayin do his thing. They kind of had it reserved, which is fine. They want to just ease into it. This is going to be a completely different fucking game. I think it's going to be
points.
A lot of points. Again, you have to measure in the good defenses again, but I could see at least 3 touchdowns each team. Yeah, and then some field goals, but we're talking 40, 50 point totals. That'll be an interesting over-under and kind of what they set the line at.
Right, and I think like you mentioned, you kind of alluded to it, like Arch going into last season had the most pressure I have ever seen a college player be under ever.
Yes, I think in the game against Ohio State, I swear to God, I'll have to go back and check the tape, but they said potential future Heisman winner Arch Manning. I said, did I just hear that right?
Yeah,
potential future Heisman winner. I guess you could say that about anybody stepping onto the football field.
They were calling him a Hall of Famer.
Oh my gosh, dude! It's ridiculous. Like I get the annoyance behind that too. It's like, come on, guys. Like, but it's holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying was too is like, give the kid a chance to breathe. Like he literally had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and then another world on top of that, just because of how much pressure the media he was under. So I'm not I don't think it took anything away from the Ohio State win in that, the Ohio State win in that game. But it's like all I'm saying is I think Arch is now that the media has kind of like let off the gas a little bit. Like I think he can kind of grow into it. But I do agree that their schedule is absolutely brutal, and if they lose 3 games or 3 or 4 games and miss the playoff, they're like Steve Sarkisian might get fired. But
it's going to be a really, really interesting team. I honestly, this is a year that I think a team with 2 losses wins the championship.
Yeah.
Unless you're Notre Dame and get extremely lucky and, go undefeated all the way through. But I don't see that happening. I mean, Georgia has another, kind of moving on from Texas. Like Georgia has another tough schedule. Oklahoma, Bama, Ole Miss. I guess not as bad. I mean, those 3 teams are hard. But
Gunnar Stockton. They still have
Gunnar Stockton. Yep, Stockton's back. Yep, Kirby Smart, one of the best coaches in all of college football.
Yeah. So
Last year, like their losses weren't bad losses. They barely lost against Bama. They barely lost against Ole Miss. Um, just another great team. I
yeah,
mean, this
it's just a
this
matter
is
of
a
can they
year
live
where I
up to that.
think, yeah, this is a year where I think Georgia is going to be another real threat, and
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that they're going to have kind of these brutal losses back to
Yeah,
back years.
they lost that Ole Miss. Oh, no, they won that. But yeah, like yeah,
No, they
they
lost
lost
Ole
to Ole
Miss.
Miss. Ole Miss. Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost to Ole Miss. Yeah, so it's
Yep.
like like they have
And
these
Bama.
expectations like and Bama. So it's like like they have to they have to get back to being the Georgia team that went back to back a few years. Like I don't know what that they had so much talent, and I think the thing is like it was them and Alabama just as talent hubs and talent like just they became such satellite had such a concentration of talent. It was them in Alabama. They went 4 deep at every position, but now the landscape with NIL is so much more laid out. And like, how does Kirby Smart adapt to that new landscape? And I think he's done well enough. But I think you can attribute NIL and not being completely loaded at every position is a reason they haven't been back to the Natty in a few years.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
They're
I
the
think,
same
but I do
team.
agree.
It's the same team. It's the
It's
same
the same.
script. It's
They're
like it's
Georgia.
just
They're
like, yeah,
Georgia.
are they going to be able to do it this year or not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do they win the games they're supposed to? Do they live up in the big moments? Like it just it.
Speaking of that too, it's like, what about Oregon? I mean,
Yeah. They're dude.
I think I don't know if you, other than Michigan, I think I hate Oregon the second most, just because they're.
I was doing my I'm gonna be honest. I was doing my research for this episode. They brought back everyone.
Yeah, dude.
They did not. They brought back everything. Like outside of their tight end that they lost to the draft, they are bringing back like.
Well, their coordinators changed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But in terms of personnel, and they still have Dan Lanning, and they still have the Dante Moore. All I'm saying is, every other team is reloading more or less. They have brought back everything, and they're pissed. I think they make at least the Final Four of the
Really?
CFP. Yeah. That's my.
I could see that. I could see that, and then probably losing by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
It's something, yeah, exactly. Like finally getting the world on their side, like,
and then just getting it absolutely stripped away.
Yeah, exactly. Just having
like you have the winning lottery ticket in your hand, and then a big gust of wind comes by and blows it into a big puddle, and it disintegrates.
Exactly, and then just rips their hearts out. Yeah. So I think Oregon's going to be very good. But so all I'm saying is that I know of every year it's Oregon's year.
You know who Oregon is to me?
Who is Oregon to you?
They are the Buffalo Bills of college football.
Man, yeah, they are the Buffalo Bills of college football.
The biggest expectations, the best players.
They get so close.
Everyone is on their dick, and what do? They fuck it up somehow. They fuck it up sometime. And, I mean, their only losses last year, granted, were Indiana. They lost Indiana in the regular season, which 30-20, they played pretty good, and then Indiana pulled away.
Indiana, that was a tight
It was a very tight game. Yeah. It was a very, very tight game. Was that the, wait, was that the game with the insane catch?
Yeah, that was the Penn State game.
That was the Penn State game. Yeah, you're right.
The reason, it was,
I remember because the score is like oddly familiar. I remember this game.
That was the Penn State game was at my wedding. That was
crazy.
That we were watching that in the living room that Saturday.
Yeah, it was 13-10 at half. But then Indiana came out and scored. They got a field goal. So yeah, the first half was super close.
Yeah. No, that
was a good game. But I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to take Oregon seriously just
until they prove it. But
until they prove it, but their schedule's not bad. I mean, I think they
just in terms of just teams with the least moving pieces and the least moving parts, Oregon takes that prize.
I mean that's where they're going to have the biggest benefit. Like, let's be honest. And they're at USC. They're at Ohio. Like at Ohio State is going to be tough. And then they have Michigan at home, Washington at home to end the season.
And moving on to the big boy. We are a Ohio State podcast around these parts. We root for them. We are the Yankees fans of college football, but we do not apologize for wins around here. So with Ohio State, they received 38 first place votes, which is more than five times more than the next team. So even a team, they have the best player in college football in Jeremiah Smith. They have a quarterback.
Let's start at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur Smith,
Yeah.
Matt Patricia. They have
Ryan
a
Day.
fucking all-star coaching squad. All I'm hearing about Arthur Smith is his play calling is different than the Ohio State kind of regimen and what they've been doing, but he'll adapt. I'm not worried about it at all. And I don't think he's going to come in and say, "Hey, my shit doesn't stink.
No,
I know what I'm doing."
He's been I think the NFL kind of humbled him a little bit. I think he's kind of coming in with his own version, with his own version of a chip on his shoulder of like, no, I am a good I am a good coach. I am a good coordinator. I can put up good numbers. And the thing is too, he's probably doing just like Matt Patricia is doing calculus against teams playing algebra. He's going to be doing differential equations against defenses that haven't seen anything like this coming. So all I'm saying, you're right. So it's like when you've got two former NFL head coaches as coordinators, you're in a position you're in an amazing position. So I totally agree.
Yeah, why don't you start with your take, and I'll because I can talk for fucking 3 hours on it.
Yeah, no, I'll get off. Yeah, let me. So I have a few. Yeah, so I think biggest question mark about Ohio State that I've got is they had 7 first-round players on that defense. 7 starters got drafted off that defense. So do they reload? How well do they reload? Do they become a more offensive-minded football team? Do they rely more on Jeremiah Smith and their new wide receiver that they're bringing in? Because last year they could lean on that defense forever and they would hold up. And
11 defensive starters went in the draft.
Yeah, more times than not, they did hold up until Julian Sayin threw a pick 6 against Miami, and that was the only reason they lost that game. So I do think that their defense is going to be just fine because Matt Patricia is still very good, and
he's good at grooming talent.
One second, let me finish my take, and then I'll let you have the floor for as long as you like. All I'm saying is I think they're going to be in more. I think Julian Sayin is going to take that next step. He's going to be his second year in the second year in this offense, kind of continue to grow. He's still going to have the same track team. You got Bo Jackson coming back at running back. You're going to have Jeremiah Smith, and hopefully their connection continues to grow. So I think they're going to score more points this year than they did before because they might have to, because that defense is going to be basically brand new, and might take them some time to get adjusted. But I think Ohio State is still absolutely a national title contender. Making the playoffs is a given, right? At this point, it's just a matter of how far they can run in the CFP.
Yeah. No, honestly, I don't disagree with anything that you're saying. The only thing I was going to add when we're talking about defense is that great pickup from Bama, James Smith. He's a beast. But to your point, having Matt Patricia, he knows how to groom talent.
Yep.
And no matter what, they always have a good defense. Is it going to be the same caliber as the last few years? Probably not. Let's be honest. Those are tough shoes to fill. Are they still going to be an
4 first rounder?
Are they still going to be an A- defense though?
Oh yeah, at least. Yeah.
I think so. Maybe. But again, I say this about a lot of teams. It's you gotta play the shit ones good.
Yeah.
And let these guys eat. And then obviously stand your ground with some of the because they don't have an easy schedule. Their schedule is very hard. And I'll be the first one to admit it, but I agree. I think Julian's saying being a true redshirt freshman, he's not the biggest guy on the planet either. And I think Ryan Day and that team in general, Brian Hartland and they kind of reserved him at moments, which makes sense, to any kind of new QB coming into the NCAA, especially playing on a team like Ohio State, but he left a lot on the table. There was a lot of open receivers last year, and I don't know that if it's because he didn't have good downfield vision, or if it was just play calls. I would probably say the play calls. Maybe his eyes were at the receiver that was supposed to catch the ball, or that was where the play was designed around, which is fine. But I agree. I think they're going to be a much more powerful offense. You have Bo Jackson returning as running back, who I thought was amazing. He's not Henderson or Judkins, but he's a good fucking
Pretty
player.
good. It's
He
pretty
can
good.
catch the
Yeah.
ball. Jeremiah
Yeah.
Smith, the best player in the country. I don't want to
Yep.
hear anyone's argument on
Yep.
that. I think there's a
I don't think anyone would
consensus
disagree with
that
you.
he is
Yeah.
the best player in the country. Chris
Yeah.
Henry Jr., amazing pickup. I don't give a
That's what I
fuck if he's a freshman. I don't give
Yeah.
a
He's
fuck if he's a
nasty.
freshman. If he's the second man on that roster, people are going to be glued to Smith, and that's fine. I mean, Brandon Ennis is there too, and I think he's going to do what he needs to do. But
Yeah.
um, they
Is
have a
is it?
superstar team. They have a
Yep.
superstar
They got the
team, and
same.
to your
They got
point,
the same track team.
they have the
Go
same
ahead.
they have the same track team. But that schedule, like I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. Like they have to prove themselves and beat Texas on the road. They have to win the games like Indiana. They have to beat USC.
They have to
Oregon
beat Mich.
is
They
at
have to
home,
beat.
which I think
They have to beat
helps.
Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to sit here and say anytime that matchup
It
it's a
doesn't matter.
cakewalk.
It does not, dude. It
It's
doesn't
always a
matter if
tough it's always a
Michigan.
tough
Yeah.
game.
It's the
Um,
emotions are just so high.
but being at home, I think this year it just means something even more than last year. All of these
It all.
comments, a new
Yeah.
coach, it's just a game, Bryce Underwood not taking it seriously. Like, I hope all of those fucking videos are in this master 5-minute clip at the end of the year,
Yep.
dogging them, dude, because I mean, I'll be here. We might even go to the game. I don't know. I just think like the biggest test to start out with confidence is just beating Texas, and I think they're gonna. I think people
Yep.
are dick riding Arch Manning again just because of the game that he had towards the end of last season, and that's totally fine. I think he's a great quarterback. I think it's a great
Yeah.
team,
It's a great way to
but
start the
I
season for
don't know.
sure.
I mean, I think they win that game, and they're going to steamroll through the season. Again, Indiana, USC, Oregon, back to back to back is not an easy thing to do by any means, but they don't scare me as much as this two
I don't.
week or
Yeah.
Texas game.
I don't think Ohio State should be scared. I don't think Ohio State should be scared of anyone ever. Like they really shouldn't be scared. The only reason Michigan was never even better than Ohio State, even in 23 when they won the Natty. They weren't
Yeah,
better
I
than
mean they
Ohio.
just shit
They
down their
weren't.
leg, dude.
They weren't. But yeah, they weren't better than Ohio State in that game. They just had such a mental edge in that game, and I think at this point Ohio State is like battle hardened.
I think that
Um.
edge is gone. Yeah, I
Yes.
think it's.
Yeah.
I think they had a lot of pressure. Ryan
Yep.
Day got his W. He got his championship. I think they're back to being who they are. I
Yep.
mean, the game means a lot to everybody in that locker
Yep.
room, but they're
Yep.
not playing scared
No.
football when they play Michigan
No.
anymore.
Not
Like,
anymore. No. For
and
sure.
being at
For
home,
sure.
I think they're gonna let the fucking cannons loose.
No,
So
for sure.
it'll be
And I
interesting,
think that.
dude.
Yeah, and I think that other. And I think. Going back to what you were saying about leaving meat on the bone with Julian saying, I think Ryan Day has proven a lot of times of like take what he is a ultimate take what the defense gives you. Don't force the issue. Just win the game. He doesn't seem to care about style points in a lot of situations. He just
No,
wants to win.
he controls the clock.
Yeah.
They're not really
So
rushing
it's
up to the ball unless they
for
need
sure.
to. I mean, they play
Exactly.
very
So
poised football.
so that's what I'm saying. So it's like all I'm
Um,
saying is like when a defense, and I think he knew as much as we knew that the defense he's had the last couple of years has been absolutely disgusting. So he was like, so he's played
I
actual
wouldn't say
ball
it
control.
bailed them out, but it definitely helped a ton.
It helped, but
Like,
all I'm saying is
yeah,
I think it dictated. The more I think about this team, I think the fact that their defense was so elite, it influenced how they played offense, right?
yeah.
Like similar to how like the 2000 Ravens or the Steelers of the like 2010s kind of played, or yeah, the early 2010s, like those teams that went to the Super Bowl, like they played offense a certain way to complement the defense. And I think now they're gonna have to let the dogs loose on offense a little bit more to kind of help out the defense, because the defense still may be very good, but I think the offense is definitely going to be the strength of the team this year. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree.
I think Ryan Day is smart enough to know, just if we know
And it
that,
looks like
we're
Julian Sand put some weight on him, so hopefully he can do a
yeah,
QB sneak this year. That'd be great.
yeah, right, John, seriously.
That
Oh
would be really cool.
man. Oh man, and I don't know if you've seen John Mateer. John Mateer's also looks like a shit brick house. Just go look at how he's a lot of
Yeah,
these quarterbacks
Sand's
are.
legs look like they got like walking into camp and seeing him kind of take a few snaps. I was like, okay, they
Yeah,
made
he
him
did
eat
not
a
lift.
little bit.
Yeah, he did not. Yeah, he did not lift a single. He did not do a single weight lift, or he didn't do a single lift outside of back squat this entire offseason. So all he did was back squat, watching that play at the 1 against Indiana.
Well, I think I can't believe we went through all 25. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I
No,
think that's a
I think
good
just
show for the
yeah,
people.
it was a really good show. I think overall this is going to be I think you've kind of got like the cream of the crop at the top, and then you've just got a whole lot of sameness. And from like 9 to 25, I think you've got a lot of variable movement. I think some teams can jump up, some teams can fall down really fast, but I think outside of Miami, like Miami and up in this poll, I think like those are the teams that I would put everything on to basically make the playoff. And then after that, I think this college football season is going to has so many question marks. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, well, another good show I think for the
Yes,
next
sir.
one.
So longest episode yet.
Yeah,
This is going to be over an hour.
we'll keep you guys posted. There's a few different things that we could do for next week, but appreciate y'all tuning in and look forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Have a great night, everyone. Bye,
All
guys.
right, peace.